Alright, here we go. Week 5, SJD Design Super Late Model Series. We're in Abbottstown, PA at Lincoln Speedway. Let's take a look at your grid. Taking the pole tonight, the 022 out of Findlay, Ohio. Last week's winner is Tony Martin. Starting right beside him, surprise, surprise, in the 5, the SJD Design Machine, title sponsor machine, Seth Johnson. Back there in row 2, 84, Backdraft Motorsports owner-operator Stephen Hott. Just to Stephen's outside, you got the 98 of Jace Hott, Backdraft Motorsports as well. Back there in the 3rd row, Tony's teammate, the 28, that's Chris Sons. Just outside of Chris Sons, 19, out of Red Oak, Texas, Matthew Stewart. Behind Stu Rat tonight, out of Warren, Illinois, the number 6, black and yellow machine, Kyle Bolin, Backdraft Motorsports. That's your grid as we're getting ready to let them loose here. Here we go. Tony Martin, green flag. Gonna take him down into 1. Early lead. 84 real high there. Side by side for the lead, the 5 and the 022. Can't even tell who led that lap. That was so close. Good battle back behind him. 98 just barely edging out Chris Sons here. Jace Hott, Chris Sons side by side. Chris on the inside, Jace on the outside. Stu Rat right behind him. A little bit of a gap opened up there. Up front with your leaders. Tony Martin leading the way. Seth Johnson working the high side. Tony gonna keep it low there. Seth gonna follow him. 84 Stephen Hott right behind Seth. Tony Martin, last week's winner. Looking to go 2 for 2 here. The 84 right up on the back bumper of the 5. Got good battles out back here though. Kyle Bolin. Kyle Bolin just put it in the fence. He is in the pits right now, able to get it off the track. We're going to keep it green. Stu Rat right up on the bumper of the 98 of Jace Hott here. Both Stu Rat and Jace working that high line. Back out front, Tony Martin continues to lead. 9 of 40 in the books here at Lincoln. The SJD Design Super Late Model Series presented by Redemption Weekly Racing Series. We appreciate you sponsors. We appreciate you watching. Drivers are pretty spread out here on this small track. Jace Hott loses a little momentum there, so does Stu Rat though, so the gap stays even. Speaking of gaps, top of your screen right there. Tony Martin got about a half a second over Seth Johnson. Seth Johnson trying to find where the speed. You see the 84, he puts the nose of that car in the wall. Able to keep it moving. Seth trying to find a line. Get around this 022. Stu Rat continues to chase down Jace Hott. Chris Sons continues to chase the pack down here. He's looking for a good finish tonight. Up front, Tony Martin continues to lead the way here. Seth Johnson trying to run him down. Gap's opened up to over a second now. 84 trying to work his way around the lap car there. Kyle Boland, no problem. And Stu Rat and Jace Hott are just about making contact there in 3 and 4. About as close as you can get. It's not what Tony Martin wants to see here with a second lead and 23 to go. Jace Hott, he gets it turned around in the front stretch here and sideways stopped on the track. That's going to bring out a caution. So Jace Hott gets it turned around. Brings out our first yellow of the night as he's not able to get it off the speedway in time. Pace truck will be out here and bring him around. 17 of the 40 in the books here tonight at Lincoln in the SJD Design Super Late Model Series. If you need a paint, get with Seth over at SJD Design. That's Seth right there in that number 5 car. Easy guy to work with. No matter if you need a sports car painted, a dirt car painted, whatever you need, he can hook you up. Seth, the in-house painter for all of Backdraft Motorsports. And also nice enough to put this series on for us. All right, guys are getting back to double file. Tony Martin, Seth Johnson, front row. Second row, Stephen Hott, Matthew Stewart, Chris Sons, Tony Martin's teammate, right there, 2 cars behind him. Here we go. Tony Martin gets a pretty good jump there. Gonna lead him down into 1, 22 to go. Seth Johnson looking high. Chris Sons, he's able to edge out Stu Rat there. Move Chris Sons up to P4. Seth Johnson looking on that cushion up high, looking for that big run he had early on in the race. Tony Martin staying right where he's been, tucked against that inside wall, side by side across the stripe. 20 to go, halfway through this one here at Lincoln. Seth really drives that one in deep. Can he get a big run here off the top? Still side by side. Great battle up front here. Leaders are putting on one heck of a show. Not easy to do to keep these cars side by side and not make contact. Oh, you see Tony, he loses a little momentum there in the corner. That's going to allow Seth to make the pass. New leader, 5 car. Tony going to look back to the inside. Nothing doing this time. Seth Johnson, Tony Martin, Stephen Hott, Chris Sons, Matthew Stewart. That's your field right now. There's a 6 of Kyle Boland and 98 of Jace Hott. They're still in the pits. Great battle up front with your leaders. Seth able to lead that lap. 15 to go. Track's really slicking off here. This is where throttle control really shows who has it, who doesn't. Seth continuing to lead this one with 13 to go. Tony Martin just 2/10 back. Can he get there? Trying to win 2 in a row. Matthew Stewart trying to close in on Chris Sons. Chris Sons, quite a ways to go to get up to that 84 machine of Stephen Hott. Seth Johnson continues to lead the way here. Up on that high side, he's stretched out almost a second lead now. Stu-Rat sends it in real deep there. Closing in on Chris Sons. And the caution is out. Just 11 to go in this one. One of our lap cars pulling back onto the track. Either Kyle in the 6 there or Jason 98 is the cause of iRacing throwing that one. No admin cautions in this series. All the scoring and timing, caution throwing is all done by iRacing. iRacing apparently saw a problem on this little track with 2 cars coming out relatively close to the leaders and decided they were going to throw a caution. Not what Seth Johnson wanted to see, I promise you that, with almost a second over Tony Martin. Tony Martin has an I rating on dirt oval a little over 4,000, so he knows what he's doing out here. Not the person you want chasing you down with 11 to go. We still are not under 10 to go, so here we go, double file. Pace trucks off. Seth Johnson, Tony Martin, Stephen Hott, Chris Sons, Matthew Stewart, Kyle Bolin, and Jace Hott. Here we go. We're green. Seth, good jump down into turn 1 over Tony. Chris Sons going to try to look on the outside of the 84. Nothing doing there that time. 84 really high in that turn. That's going to give Chris Sons a good look. As the 98, he gets spun around a little bit there, sideways. Seth managed to open up another big lead there. Chris Sons, he gets crossed over by the 84 and then makes contact with the 19 of Matthew Stewart into the wall hard. The 98, Jace Hott, also into the wall hard. That's going to bring out another caution. So 8 to go now. Let's take you back and look at that one real quick. That was quite the wreck. As you see, the wreck here is already in progress. We'll try to back it up a little bit for you. Maybe get a little better angle on it. Let's see if we can't switch camera angles here and see exactly what happened. Let me try looking above here in the blimp cam. As you see the 84, Stephen Hott on the high side. And he's trying to work around the 28 there. Chris Sons. Chris Sons just loses momentum there in the corner. Stu-Rat tried to keep it low, and it looked like Chris Sons just coming down off the top after losing momentum, which will happen in these cars. And that'll get him into the side of the 19. And so that's what we got. All right. Well, I can guarantee you, not what your leaders wanted to see. But that's what we got. I don't know how many times Seth Johnson has had to try to outrun Tony Martin tonight, but Tony's going to get another chance to chase him down here. There's still a little bit of grip up there on the top side. Not much, but a little. Just 8 laps to go here in the SJD Design Super Late Model Series. Tony Martin looking to go back-to-back, but he'll have to get around that 5 car, Seth Johnson. You see Barney there holding the flag. 1 to go. Lights are going off the pace truck this time by. Here we go. Single file restart. Seth Johnson, Tony Martin, Stephen Hott, Chris Sons, Kyle Bolin. Green, green, green. Good jump for Seth there. He's opened up quite a gap. 7 to go. Not easy for either of these drivers, Seth to hold Tony off or Tony to get around Seth. Chris Sons, he wants a podium. Let's see what he can do. Stu Rat getting a little loose back there. Chris Sons drifts it high. Seth Johnson trying to stay on the edge of that cushion. Trying to find some speed, trying to find some grip. 4 to go. Seth's got a half second over Tony. Stu Rat trying to close the gap. Chris Sons trying to move himself up to P4. 2 to go this time by for your leader. Seth Johnson going to work that high line. We'll keep the battle right here on the leaders. Lap traffic, is it going to come into play? White flag in the air. Seth Johnson one more time around. Can he hold off Tony Martin? Almost half a second gap. Tony's going to throw it in there one last time. Nothing for him. Seth Johnson, your winner. Tony Martin, P2. 84, Stephen Hott, 3rd. Chris Sons going to bring it home in 4th. Good run for him tonight. Stu Rat in the 5th position. Jace Hott, he'll spin it across there. 6th, Kyle Bolin going to bring home 7th. But your race winner tonight, Seth Johnson. Outstanding race for him. P2, Tony Martin. Stephen Hott going to roll it in at P3. Let's talk to the driver.
All right. Congrats to your winner tonight, Seth Johnson. That's who we'll start off with. Your feature winner here in the number 5 SJD design machine. Seth, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Hey, go ahead and break down the race for us.
Yeah, the race was a lot of fun, man. Tony and I were going at it for a while. I knew that if I would stay behind him, there was no way I was catching him. He ended up getting out to about a second lead. So I just started running the top line and hoping it would come in at some point or at least be as fast as the bottom. And it started to come in, and thankfully I got around him. And but credit him, man. It was a tough race. And this track stuff, it's tight. It's hard to pass on this track. And thankfully I just had an opportunity and was able to hold him off. I didn't want to see any cautions, and got a couple and got a little worried there, but thankfully was able to get the win.
Absolutely. Looked like a good race between you guys tonight. You got any sponsors you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yep, want to shout out you for hosting this, and I want to shout out Redemption Weekly Racing Series, which is just a really cool opportunity to be able to race in 4 different series. I want to thank Backdraft Motorsports, great team to race with, and I want to thank SJD Designs.
All right, outstanding. Thank you. It's race winner, Seth Johnson. Over to number 2 now, Tony Martin in the 022 machine. Almost had it tonight, Tony. You want to break down the race for us?
All right, unfortunately, unable to get the driver of the number 22 on the horn. Technical difficulties for him. And also hearing technical difficulties right now from the 84, Stephen Hott. That's a good race from everybody tonight. It was fun. Appreciate everybody coming out to watch tonight. We'll see you guys next week as we see if Tony Martin can continue to try and climb the ranks here, or if Seth Johnson's going to continue his dominance. We'll catch you guys next week.